backyard in need of a little character? I'm down here. Today, we'll add character and charm to a New Jersey home by building a Victorian gazebo. What about me?
I just can't believe you railroaded that kid.
Well, he didn't have any donuts or sweet rolls.
So where are we going?
Gonna put in a gazebo.
I can't even say gazebo.
That's all right. The people here, they say it's really easy to put together. And I believe them.
And I believe him too. Hey, this must be the place. I know it's the place.
We're
now.
back in New Jersey.
Yes, we are. We got a great show for today. Hey, John.
Hi, how are you?
John Patel.
And this is Chrissy, Melissa, and Katie. All right, John, have you checked your building codes about building
sure
gazebos?
did.
Right.
All right, great.
We're going to put this in the backyard?
Out in the backyard by the pool.
Right by the pool. That'd be a
Yes.
great addition.
Terrific. All right, who wants a gazebo? Do you want a gazebo?
Yeah.
Hey, you want us to build it for you?
No!
Well,
We're going to come into your backyard and we're going to build it.
Anyway. Well, you want us to build it, right?
I do, very
Okay,
much
well,
so.
You're the father. Anyway, gotta have some rights.
And here's Marcy Dodd and Rob Ham, and they're from Vixen Hill Gazebos.
Gazebos.
Now, what else does Vixen Hill sell?
Well, in addition to our gazebos, we also manufacture garden houses, grand pavilions, exterior shutters, and porch systems.
Now, is this the kind of job that an average homeowner can do?
You betcha. That's why these kits were designed. We made them especially for the non-carpenter to assemble themselves.
And since are you a carpenter?
I am not.
You're not?
And it's your first time?
And it's my first time.
This is going to be an acid test. What are we building today? Exactly.
I'll let Rob answer that one.
Today we're going to be putting together a Victorian-style 12-foot gazebo that
Oh, pray do tell.
Vixen Hill has manufactured.
Okay. You know, proper foundation is critical to a trouble-free installation.
That's poetry. My foundation, maiden form. Now, since this is an octagonally shaped gazebo with sections like pies, we're going to be doing 8 footings around a perimeter and 1 central footing.
They're going to have a 10-inch diameter, these footings, right?
And so what we have to do is mark where those outer footings are going to be. And they are going to be on center 62 5/8 inches out from the center
Here's
footing.
our center point, piece of string.
Right.
Pull this piece of string out, put a tape measure at the top, just like this here. Helps to have a nice tape measure too. 62, right?
62.
And 5/8.
And 5/8. Right.
Wait a minute. Here
That's
we go.
4/8.
You don't want to pull the string too taut. There.
Yeah, and I'm going to just point one of these square stakes right at the 5/8 mark. Drop it down just a little bit more. There you go. Now I'm going to... I always wanted to work for the circus.
Look at that.
Now, from each... Now we're going to measure out another 62 5/8, but each outer footing...
Well, we have this marked.
Right, each outer footing is in turn going to be 48 inches from the center of the next footing.
So here's... Do you see the mark on the string?
Yes, 48. And
Now,
here, why don't
I'll
you...
hold it up like this. There.
There, I'll put it on the inside, and I'll let that mark go right on the center of my stake. Get out of town, because I got to pound my steak. See, it wasn't prime or choice, so I have to pound it to make it tender.
You got to tenderize it.
Now, where do these numbers come from? Well, 62 5/8 is the radius of the gazebo, and 48 inches is 1/8 of the circumference, or 1 piece of the pie. All right.
There isn't, but there's Bosco.
Now all we have to do is draw the pentagram, and the coven will be here about 12:30.
Now, we already poured the footings. This was just a demonstration to show you how we marked them.
Right, we fooled you. There's going to be no gazebo here.
The footings got to dry overnight, so we poured them concrete, all that kind of stuff into the tube.
They're over that way. He walked in front of me. He walked in front of me. Hey, look, everything's dug and the footings are poured. Pretty good, eh? But we're going to tell you how we got the elevation. That's what we're doing now. We're setting our elevation, and for that, I need an assistant. Enter and sign in, please.
I am Tube Man.
Right, you're...
otherwise known as Fee Waybill.
Okay, fine.
What? Oh, sorry.
Very nice.
Can't get around much in this, you know.
Can you go to the bathroom in that?
Well...
Literally, in that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the first thing you do when you set elevation is to set a stake. We put a piece of rebar in there. Remember when we used to do that for a living?
Rebar, yeah.
And we tied a string to it, and where we tied that string to the rebar, that must never move.
It must never move.
We've got our string, and we've got our little tram car string level
Hold it up
there.
in the air so you can see how it runs.
Look.
See, it's a string level. It moves.
And that's going to help us set our elevation too. Now, we measured around to each stake point, which used to be here, and we found our highest elevation, that stake point, which is the highest of all of the stake points. And here we are at that elevation.
And what we have, put that down there.
We're going to put this down until
right to the ground.
Until the level floats.
The level floats.
You got to watch the level.
Wasn't that Upton Sinclair? He wrote
The level
that.
floats.
Down a little bit.
Down a little.
After the jungle, he wrote the level
floats.
That's it right there.
Okay, this is 22 inches from grade.
Perfect.
Now we're going to measure 1 inch. We're going to minus 1 inch from 22 because the footing itself wants to be, well, we want it to be 1 inch above that grade. So 21 is the number?
21 shall be the number, not
Right.
22, not 20, but
So
21.
now we go around and we mark all of our other stakes with the level.
To get the same height.
To get the same height, dig the holes, drop the tubes in, and mark that same 21 inches on those tubes.
And though they may look different levels, different heights, they're all level.
They're all the same level, 21 inches. All right? Let's begin.
Did you ever see this? Look.
Yeah,
I'm just
like
going to
that.
rest.
Yeah. Ned Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, you know, when digging the footings, you got to go below the frost line. In these parts, it's 36 inches.
We dug down 36 inches.
In Guatemala, what do they just pour the
6.
cement right on the top of the ground? There's no frost line at all.
There is none because it's very hot.
Absolutely. I'm glad we don't do the show down there. Anyway, this is the center footing.
And all the footings, once they're in the ground, you have to make sure that they're plumb. Put
Right.
a level against the tube, and then plumb it up till the bubble is right in the center.
And this one is plumb.
And then
It's
you would,
perfect.
of course, backfill, and then you would put in your concrete. And look,
But on the center footing, we did one more thing. We put in an anchor bolt, 1/2 inch wide, 6 inches long.
with a washer and a nut, see? And this, before the concrete set up, we put that in there.
I made sure that was plumb as well.
Because this is what all the joists are going to run off of.
And I'm going to run off right now.
Go, do it.
We'll be back with more gazebo after this.
So stay with us. Oh,
Who has my pants? Give me back my pants.
everything's pants with you, isn't it?
All right, let's set our floor joists, which all come off the center point, out in radials.
Yes, it does.
Now, this kit has everything. Everything in the world you'd need for a gazebo. Everything.
You are right, oh Abram Breath.
The first thing you put down is this bottom plate. And these holes at the points, each one of these points has to point directly at a footing.
Well, we're going to put this on this bolt in the washer, but we're not going to
Tighten it with a wrench.
Just finger tight, right?
Everything we're doing here is going to be finger tight because you want everything loose, so in case you did something wrong, you can move it around and then make it tight when it's right.
Exactly.
Then the joist is notched out at the top and the bottom,
Right,
right here, and it's got a hole going through it, right there.
Yeah,
And we're going to rest that
right on there.
on there so that the holes line up. The holes line up. Okay. Hole is lining up. And
Well,
now
wait a minute now. Before you do that, let me get another one because we need 2 of them to rest off of. That's what we should do.
Where did he go?
Because that would be normal, and like this. And then this hat,
Now
the
we're gonna-
Kay Kaiser hat.
Put the top plate on, which has got a commercial, so we'll point it this way. And that's got holes, so now your holes are lined up all the way through the joist, through the bottom
Now
plate.
you get a bolt.
And I'll get another one. And you get a line, and I'll get a pole.
Put that in there.
Okay.
This one's going to go in here.
And it's going all the way through the bottom plate. Put the washer on, and again, just finger tight. All right, we set all our joists down, and we have decided against the motorized merry-go-round attachment for the center.
For 2 reasons. It would take 3 shows to do,
Right.
and it's too greasy.
Too greasy.
So you got to, the first thing, though, is you got to figure out where you want your entrance.
John wants it here.
We're going to have our entrance right here. We're going to walk in this way here.
And see the commercial. Vixen Hill over here. You know, Vixen is a female fox. Did you know?
I went with one.
I remember.
Now, the other thing you want to remember is the biscuit slot here, or what do they call it?
The anchor slot.
The anchor slot is what they call it in their information. It's got to be facing up just like this. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem assembling the floorboards.
This is a section of the floor. It's 1/8 of the floor.
1/8.
And how's it going to fit in?
Well, look. Show them that.
It's got these things. These are called semi-joists.
They're
and
going to
will
straddle the joist.
the real joist. And then over at the front, the tip,
See this tip up here? This is going to go underneath the plate.
the plate's going to go into this notch right here.
Right.
All right, now this is also a floor section unlike any other because it is the entrance section.
That's a drain.
No, it is not. That is the hole for
I knew
for
that.
the electric wire to come through.
So
well, the
your-
wire isn't electric.
conduit will come up
because
there.
this will be your outlet.
Right. So let's put this in
Yes.
right here.
And it's got to fit in between the two joists and then slide up in there.
Up in there.
And
Straddle.
butt up right to the Vixen Hill plate. And remember, we didn't tighten these bolts. That means
They have to be movable.
we can adjust them. Oh, he's going to put this one in himself.
Oh, I could do that. It's that easy.
It's that easy.
Once all the floor sections are in place, remove every other piece and anchor the joist to the footings. The joists attach with angle brackets. Line the bracket up with a pre-drilled hole in the joist and mark the footing. Use a hammer drill with a depth setting set to 4 inches and drill a pilot hole in that footing. Hammer a wedge bolt into the footing and tighten with a wrench.
All right. All the
Anchor
anchor
bolt.
bolts are bolted and anchored, huh?
Yeah, and now what we have to do is we have to attach all of the
Joists and the mini joists and the
flooring
floor sections.
together.
So first you put in
And we're going to do that using this,
anchor tab,
an anchor tab, which goes in here.
and then we get a nice long bolt like this. We put one washer at one end of it, and we stick it through the L bracket, through the joist, through the anchor tab, through the mini joist that's on the bottom of the
And then
flooring,
secure it with said nut and washer.
and washer on the other side.
But we can't do that yet
Because
we have
we're
to put
really
in
small.
the piece of flooring.
It should slip in, theoretically, perfectly.
Look.
Oh!
Okay, let's put this on here into the hole there. Get the anchor tab. There. Put on your nut.
You bet.
And I'll hold this edge.
Is that shoved all the way in there?
Yep. There, now you're all tight.
We'll be right back with more gazebo. I'm out of here. Hello again. We're back.
Oh, welcome back.
We put together our gazebo and then we blew it up. Here are all the pieces.
And look, it's almost like a textbook.
It's an exploded view. It's good to make sure you have all the parts, of course, and all in their respective quadrants. Or if it's an 8-sided thing, it wouldn't be a quadrant, it would be an eighth-drant.
Okay.
Or a demi-quadrant.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this post in. This is the
Power post.
The power post.
It's the power post.
Now-
Why? Because it carries a line through which you can plug all kinds of things.
Put your finger in there.
No, I won't.
Now look down here. There's a conduit.
And there's also a slit at the bottom,
See that slit?
and which fits over the anchor tab.
That fits right over the anchor tab
And-
right here.
And the wire goes down in that one hole. Remember we told you the one hole in the entrance section?
Right.
Let
Anchor
us-
tab slip. Now there's another important thing. Before you put that up, ouch, you just banged me in the head
Well,
with
I'm
that.
sorry.
You see this top piece up there? See how that's angled?
Yeah, that's the slope of the roof.
That's got to be pointed in like this, and you got to make sure that when you put all the posts in, they're all angled that way.
Unless you're Frank Gehry, then you
Yeah.
don't care.
Okay. So let me feed that in through the hole here. Okay.
And slip the slit over the
Now
tab.
maybe you can drop that down so we can see this. You see that there? Now lift it up.
Shove the wire down. Shove the wire
We're gonna
down.
reach under here and grab it.
Because we don't want the wire bented in any way.
Now pick it up straight. Now we're in. Okay.
Down here we have a finish plate. And this finish plate fits over or into the slot here to
Perfect.
make it look.
Finished.
You got it.
There we go. Smell that cedar? Now what we do is we move the piece of the railing.
And
See,
that
the railing's got a hole in it and a hole at the bottom
And we've got holes here too.
and a hole there.
And that fits into the other side. See, it's just like a big kid, isn't it? You're just like a big
We have a
kid.
couple of big kids.
Big kid, right.
Here is the brass bolts rather.
Just push it
Right
in,
in
capture
here.
the whole thing. Now, this is why you need a second person, because they can look
Yeah.
down here and see. It came
See,
right through and
that bolt was longer, went right in the glass
hit
crack.
me in the eye.
Shattering glass. Or nightmares.
And we'll just finger tighten this for now.
And let's take the one in the bottom.
Same thing.
There we go.
Washer.
So simple.
Find this tab in the slit, and then guide down onto it.
Here we
There
go.
you go. Oh. You know, it was
me.
reaching out saying, I'm next. I'm next.
And I'm going to put this.
Here, put
this
that
piece
in.
goes right. Wait a minute. That can't. Are we building an addition here?
No, why don't you turn it around,
Oh, okay.
mister?
That must be it.
Thank you. Now, that's so much better. No, there's another way to do it. No, there's one more. No.
This
There
is
you
it
go.
right here.
Where does the word gazebo come from anyway? Well, some people
It's
say...
actually Phoenician.
No, it is not. Beau means pretty in French, and gaze means to look at something.
To gaze at the bow.
Except I thought Bellevue meant pretty view, but that was just for my uncle who did a lot of time in a bathtub at Bellevue.
Now we put the bottom bolt. Look, it's thing. Put that in there. Perfect. Got it?
Not yet, I don't.
Well, okay, I'm done. Let's get Marcy and Robin here.
Finger tight on everything, then we'll tighten it up later.
Look, my aunt in the 50s, my Aunt Mickey.
Picasso's bra, right here. Okay, these are trim pieces. They go over these posts. They go down here, make everything pretty and nice and finished off. And I need a ladder.
You need a ladder?
I need a ladder, especially for the first one.
I need an Excedrin.
Because it goes over the wire.
There we go. Fretwork. This is the fretwork, so we do not have to fret.
You know who I like? Perry Como.
Do you?
Yeah.
Catch a falling star.
All right. And
Put that in there.
It attaches. There's holes drilled in the posts. And this is going to stick out.
Can I
I'm
have
just going
one?
to put this on here for fun because I don't want to hold these. Now let's get the second fret, which...
Got to work from the outside here.
An in-joke so in that I can't
Go
even
ahead, put
repeat
that
it.
in there.
All right,
Put
capture
this here.
that. A bolt,
Put the washer
the
on
washer on.
there. And the nut on there.
Get the-
Cap. Okay. Got that on there, cap.
Oh, cap.
There you go, on there, cap.
Oh,
There
chick.
you go. Now with the fretwork here, we're just putting one bolt right here.
You got a top hole too, but those bolts are going to hold on the roof. We're going to do the roof now.
And the roof comes in 8 sections, just like the floor.
Just like the floor.
Who, you Floyd?
And you need 2 people, 2 ladders, and a little bit of strength.
And the first one we're going to put on is the ceiling piece or the roof piece that
Is over the
houses-
entranceway.
Houses the electrical cords.
And
see?
this is the hardest one, so we're going to show you this first. So then all the other ones will be so easy. Ha ha.
Yeah, let's
So look,
see us struggle.
Here's the first thing. Here's a big square, well, parallelogram size notch.
Right.
Get up the ladder and show them where
And
it's
it's
going to
going
fit.
to go fit right into the tenon. See that? That would be a mortise to this tenon.
And secondly, on this roof piece and no other, there's a groove running the whole length. I got a groove running the whole length.
and peace, love, and togetherness.
And what's going to be in there? The power cord.
The
of
power
course.
cord.
Go all the way up to the center where the cupola is for later.
D. Francis Ford cupola.
That is correct.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Now the idea is to hold this at the angle of the roof, and it should slip right onto that, just like that. See that?
And it
Look,
did.
if I let this go,
Yeah.
it stays up on its own. See
Now-
that there? Look up in the center.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Nothing holding it up but air. Now look over here, Mr. Man.
Run that.
I'm going to run this piece of cord, power cord, into the slot. There we go.
We're on here. Hey,
Drop that down.
that's a fine.
There we go.
There we go. There we are.
There we are.
There we are.
Now we're in. Look, take the bolt right out of my ear, see? And I'm going to put it right here and then capture it with a washer and hold it up and tighten it finger tight. So those 2 pieces are together.
All right, here's the tail bolt. It's going to go connect the roof down at the bottom by the eaves.
Go ahead.
The tail bolt.
Let's just put it in that side.
Because I want to see it, and everybody in America and many foreign nations need to see it. Slip the washer over it, and of course the nut.
And now I turn it.
You turn it.
Perfect. Just finger tight.
Right. Now we'll do all the rest of the sections, and then
same way.
along staying the rest home.
It's the last piece. Well, the last piece of roof goes up, but we got to get this up there beforehand.
Right.
And this fits onto the top. Now, actually, this is not affixed to the top. It's affixed with these screws into the soffit and then the springs. That way, this is adjustable. Let's just put this up here.
All right, I'll go
Like
down
that.
here.
I'm just gonna hook the cord up like that. See? No bulb. That's why it didn't work.
There we are.
Now we got it.
Now we're there.
There we go.
That's a beautiful thing. See? 2 people.
Got it in. Hey, you get that there?
Woo-hoo! When all of the roof sections are assembled, bolt them together through all the pre-drilled holes. Then have a friend or enemy direct you from the outside to center the cupola. Perfect! No, fine. Perfect.
Connect it by screwing the hooks into the soffit and attaching the springs.
Remember we said we couldn't attach the fretwork through the post until the roof was on? Well,
this is the time.
the roof is on.
Now we put the bolt in from this side, and it comes right through there.
Oh, boy, like butter.
Put
It
the
works so good.
Washer there. There. And now we can tighten all this up. Remember we said we couldn't tighten it up before, but now we could.
Oh, make everything tight. That's so important. The last thing to do is to go around and
We went around and tightened everything.
every single
And now
bolt.
we got to
Well,
come down to the
we
bottom
didn't.
here.
We were busy saying really funny things off camera.
Look what comes down here.
And you got two dowels that go into the joist ends there, because you got holes there. And then you've got this attaching plate with, of course, two attendant holes that fits over there.
Right over the end of the joist.
Now, this hole that goes through the attaching plate is what's going to hold these lattice rectangles there.
Now put your end in there.
Excuse me?
How did I know you were going to say that?
And then I'm going to put one of these. There's so many different size bolts that come with this program, but they're all different sizes and they're all really, really
I got the
pretty.
bolt in already.
Oh.
All you got to do is put that end in.
I missed that meeting.
You got
Push.
it, Charlie?
Yes, take hand away.
You got washer?
I got washer. I got nut. I got the sun in the morning. And I got the mother-in-law at night. It's horrible.
There you go. More gazebo when we come back.
This is a nice gazebo and a nice reverb, you know. Pinocchio!
It's really nice.
Well, John's got to do one other thing. He's got to run a dedicated line from his junction box
To the
out
gazebo.
out to the gazebo. We don't have to do that. Thank goodness.
And as far as finishing goes, you know, it's cedar and it's impervious. I mean, it's going to turn a nice silver
I
color
had an uncle that was impervious.
over a period of time. You don't really have to put any stain or any finish on it, but you can paint it if you want. You
can
can
do
put a
whatever
stain
he
on it.
wants.
You can put a clear coating on it.
I can't wait till they do polkas out here.
I wanted to close the show with a whole band in here.
Really? Hey, you know, I want to get your picture.
Well, but first we want to show the before and the after.
And we want to thank Rob and Marcy of Vixen Hill Gazebos. Very nice people, very nice gazebos.
It's great.
Come on, can I get your picture?
Okay, well,
Come
let's
on.
go out this
Come
way.
on,
Okay.
I need you to picture.
Okay.
Step back.
I'm not going to step back.
Just one step.
No, I'm going to fall into the pool.
Come on, one more.
End the show.
All right, all right. All right, until next time, I'm Ed Feldman.
And I'm Joe Larario.
Remember, home
It's nice!
now it is my show.